Welcome and thank you for joining us to kick off Pivot Bio's 2025 sales season. Coming to you live from Pivot Bio's Product Success Center in St. Louis, Missouri. We hope you had a fun and safe 4th of July weekend, and we're excited to share what's new and exciting here at Pivot Bio. In today's program, we'll take you out to the field to hear from growers across the country. From the Carolinas to Minnesota, all the way up to Montana, growers will talk about the benefits of Pivot Bio and what it's bringing to their operations. We'll also hear from senior leadership from a few of Pivot Bio's locations, including Chief Innovation Officer and co-founder Karsten Temme discussing innovation across the company. Pivot Bio's new Chief Commercial Officer Chris Turner will talk about what the company is doing to empower growers and reps this summer, and share his unique perspective as both a farmer and someone with decades of industry experience. And Pivot Bio CEO Chris Abbott will join us to talk about the conversations he's had with growers and reps during his first few months at the helm of the organization. Finally, building off that 4th of July patriotic feeling, we'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at the latest Pivot Bio original, Agricultural States of America. Comedian Charlie Behrens uncovers hidden facts about agriculture across our great nation. Our first guest is CEO Chris Abbott. But before we speak with Chris, here's a short video about Pivot's mission to provide growers with a more reliable and sustainable source of nitrogen. Take a look.
If we're going to feed this world in 2050, we've got to get better. And Pivot Bio helps us do that.
I'm here with Pivot Bio CEO Chris Abbott. Chris, thanks for joining us. How was your 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, our 4th of July was a great weekend. It's actually my wife's birthday, so I spend all weekend chasing my kids around, catering to her. Sometimes we go up north, but this year we stuck around home, which was a great chance with all the travel that we've done this spring. It was a great chance to be home.
Tell us about your first few months as CEO.
Yeah, the first few months have been great. I say the days that I love most on the job are the days I get to spend with our reps and our growers. So those are the fun, high energy days. And so I've spent a lot of time with growers. I've been to every single one of our regions, talking to some of our reps, talking to our customers, and really understanding what can we do better as a business to serve our growers and our reps the best way possible. There's certainly opportunities of strength that we have as a business that we do really well. And there's areas that we can certainly improve on as we set up into 2025 and going forward.
Talk about what you've seen out in the field this spring and the unique value that only Pivot Bio products provide.
Yeah, this spring has been an interesting year. It looks a lot like 2019, maybe even a little wetter than 2019. So we had a wet spring at home here in the Twin Cities. It still continues to rain, which means, unfortunately, a lot of nitrogen loss. And so we've seen great product performance on our side. It reminds folks that a weatherproof source of nitrogen really matters. In a spring like this where you're seeing a large amount of N loss, that costs folks yields, costs folks time and money into the field if they're going to go make an emergency application. And so we're working very closely with our customers to ensure them up for success, but also make sure that we're demonstrating product performance and the value of the proven and return product lines.
Tell us your vision for Pivot Bio this year and beyond.
Yeah, the vision for Pivot is to really lean into our strength. So we're building a sustainable agriculture company that starts with nitrogen. That's at the core of everything that we do. And as I've said before, we want to produce the best source of nitrogen. What that means for us is it's an in-season weatherproof form of nitrogen produced and delivered on the root system. But this year it's also priced at the same as synthetic fertilizer. So we've really made an effort to align our price with that of synthetic fertilizer. We also then deployed some programs for 25 that folks have started to give very positive feedback on, like our 0% financing. So how do we make sure that this is not only a no-brainer product, but it's a product and an offering as a part of a solution for our customers, which help them manage a tough business. Farming is a tough business. We're in an interesting point in the commodity cycle. And so we really wanted to respond this year, which sets us up for the future vision. If we lean into those strengths, we can produce the best source of nitrogen for our customers as a part of a total solution for them to have their best outcomes. We'll take that strength. We will lean into that with higher fixation rate. We will lean into that with new products and formulations. And as I mentioned before, we'll lean into that with new market expansion and new geographies.
Do you have a final message to farmers?
Yeah, my final message to our growers is thank you. We've gotten great feedback from each of you that we've had a chance to meet with in the last several months. We continue to try to do better every day. That feedback is really important. We wake up every day to serve our growers. We know that's a tough business, and we know that ultimately our success hinges on that and the value that we provide our customers. So the number one thing I can say to our growers is thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for your repeat business. And thank you for the support as we head into our 2025 sales season.
Thanks, Chris. Now let's head out to the field and hear from some growers across the country talk about the positive impact Pivot Bio brings to their farms. First up is a story about a multi-generational farm in Iowa where a reliable source of nitrogen benefits today's farmland and tomorrow's farm families. Take a look.
I've always said that family comes first, and for us, farming, it's what Grandpa did, it's what my dad did.
My dad was a farmer, moved down here on this farm when I was 3 and loved to farm. I just grew up, I love it. It's bred into you.
We've owned the farm since the 30s, and I just want to preserve it and keep the generations going. It's just what I was born to do. And so then I will be the 4th generation farmer eventually when I take over the farm.
The hope is it stays in the family generation, that it keeps dropping down from generation to generation. And I want them to work hard to keep it up and grow and, make people happy. That's the best thing you could ever ask for, knowing that it's going to drop down to the good hands and be taken care of.
So in order to make it another generation, we need to be more efficient in every aspect. Number 1 is the soil, and then 2 is fertilizer, because you don't raise a crop without any fertilizer.
Pivot Bio is a wonderful thing because we able to produce nitrogen through the seed. I never would have dreamt on that. I wish my dad was still alive. Like he said, growing up, the technology has changed. He started out with horses. With Pivot coming in and actually producing nitrogen through the plant. That's unreal.
If we can save and help the soil and the earth and our farm ground as much as we can, that's the end goal. Is more efficiency, but also just preserving what we have.
That's all I ever want. I want my family to be happy and have fun together, and that's all I want. And my grandkids, they come up, and I just love it when everybody's around. That's what it's about, family.
There's just something about a farmer and owning land that it's just, you can walk on it, you can grab the dirt, and you can say, this is mine. This is my dirt, and it'll be around forever.
In our part of the world, in Northwest Missouri, we have so much variability in both soil type and climate.
We got a lot of variability in soil types. We got some light ground, some heavy ground.
The soil types we have here would be what we call clay, red clay, bottomland, gumbo, sand, have a lot of sand.
Out here in western Kansas, far eastern Colorado, one of the problems we face is we have a lot of light soil. With light soil comes leaching of your nitrogen, your sulfur.
We've got everything from like the blackest, stickiest gumbo dirt you've ever seen to some of the best made dirt in the world. It's good, bad, and indifferent, and everything in between. One of the nice things about Proven is it doesn't really matter what your soil type is, because we're not going to be bound up by any type of soil. We're attached to your root.
Synthetic fertilizer doesn't break down very fast in dry soils. In our dry conditions, that's huge, I think, to have that return sitting there in the soil, healthier soil and better yields.
What I like that Pivot does is it levels out that field a little bit. So in the areas where nitrogen loss could be an issue or areas where root structure could be an issue, it sort of takes out the valleys if you think of yield as peaks and valleys.
With big rainfall, with the leaching, and we do have issues with leaching in our types of soil. Proven solves the problem because it's there in the plant.
And that's one thing too with Pivot Bio is gives me a little bit more comfort that I'm not worried as much about leaching to where I have to come back and maybe white drop some nitrogen or something.
That is one nice thing about the Proven 40 is just knowing that, hey, I got 40 pounds of my budget, of my fertilizer budget, it's there, it's 100% efficient, and it's gonna be there for the crop.
It makes no difference what the weather does, rain, shine, drought, flood, it doesn't matter. As long as you have a living root structure, you have a colony that is going to provide 40 pounds of nitrogen to that corn plant.
Joining me now is Chief Commercial Officer Chris Turner. Chris, how was your 4th of July?
Fantastic. So we have a family tradition every year to go to Lake of the Ozarks. We spend time on the water. A lot of times we're fortunate enough to have our family all come in and just make some memories.
Tell us about your background and why you chose to join Pivot.
Absolutely. So my background started in Northeast Missouri. I grew up on a corn, soybean, cattle farm, and that's where my passion for agriculture started. Quickly continued that experience at the University of Missouri. So for the Tiger fans out there, MIZ. And then I went up to Iowa and started my professional career in the ag business. And so I've been in the agriculture business now for my entire life, but professionally 30 years. And so I've had the chance to introduce a lot of new technologies to the industry that I believe has changed agriculture. Think about Roundup Ready soybeans or Yield Guard corn borer, rootworm technology. And so I was hungry for that next technology that could change agriculture again. And I believe Pivot Bio has that opportunity with what we're working on here.
How does Pivot help growers with the health of their crop?
Yeah, I think in one statement, it's the best source of nitrogen that a farmer can use. It's the most efficient form of nitrogen that a farmer can use. We don't have to worry about leaching or volatilization with our product. Number two, it's the right placement. So it's on the seed. It's at the root zone. Number three, it's the right timing. So it's put on at planting time. There's no better time to put nitrogen on than during planting time when the plant's going to need to be fed by nitrogen. And lastly, it's the right rate, which is 40 pounds of nitrogen. So all these things provide the opportunity to have larger biomass, larger roots, stronger stalks, just general plant health, which could lead to potential yield gain.
Tell me a little bit about how Pivot is thinking differently about launching this year.
So first of all, I would give credit to the Pivot Bio team for just listening. Talking with our customer base, visiting with sales reps, as well as the internal audience to understand what is working well and what's not working. Focus on what's working well and continue to do those things, but really dial in on what's not working in the eyes of our customers and go to work to fix that. One of the key things that I look at as a key change for 2025 is the timing of when we're coming to market. So we're coming to the market earlier than we ever have before. We've equipped our organization in the month of May with all of our materials, program pricing that can be used in conversations with customers. Secondly, if we think about pricing, we have a new price point for 2025. Very aggressive price position versus synthetic nitrogen. And again, that was a point of feedback from customers. The other point I would lean into is 0% financing. So this is a very attractive offer that's going to be in place for 2025. And I think with the economics on farm, that's going to be a compelling offer as well. So a lot of changes for the coming season, a lot of things to be proud of, and I'm looking forward to see how farmers really react to those.
Pivot Bio has really enhanced its capabilities, its facilities. How will this help growers?
When I came into Pivot Bio here a few months ago as a new employee, I'm really impressed by what has been put in place with the farmer in the middle. So every decision that I am a part of and that I watch take place at the company, it's thinking about the customer. And so that starts with R&D. What is the customer looking for in terms of a product and product advancements to make their operation more efficient? it's also quality. So as we sit here at the Hazelwood, Missouri location, this is where our quality is tested. It's where our seed treatment is tested as well to make sure we have a good experience for our customer base. There's been huge strides over the last 12 months in both of those areas. And then I think about customer service. So our customer service department based out of Ames, Iowa, is one of the best that I've ever seen. And the feedback has been tremendous from customers. And so my challenge is, if you haven't experienced Pivot Bio, you try it and you learn to see what I see today is that we are focused on you as a customer with all the things that we do.
What have you seen from the teams in the field and how they're supporting customers?
Yeah, it's impressive to watch. First of all, I look at our team as being the nitrogen expert. And so a source that a farmer can come to, have a conversation, especially after this year, what we've seen early on with all the moisture and farmers being challenged in how to manage the crop, particularly around nitrogen. And so I look at our team as that nitrogen expert, whether it be our sales rep organization, our territory sales managers, our commercial agronomists, but really impressed by what the team represents and what they can provide for value.
Do you have a final message for growers?
Absolutely. So first of all, if you're a current customer of Pivot Bio, I want to say thank you. Thank you for trusting us and choosing us to be on your farm. Secondly, if you're not a customer of Pivot Bio today, I look forward to our field team earning your business. And I look forward to hearing about the successes we can have putting our product on your farm. It's a great technology and it brings a lot of value, and I look forward to hearing those success stories. And then lastly, I would say, every year we have adverse conditions across the U.S. And right now we definitely are facing those adverse conditions in the upper Midwest with all the flooding. So if you're in those areas, I would just say safety is top of mind. Our team is watching and being there if we can and be of any assistance at all, but be safe.
Thanks, Chris. To bring some of these capabilities and facilities to life, here's a short virtual tour from some of Pivot's people and locations across the Corn Belt. Take a look.
At Pivot Bio, our product success, shipment, and fulfillment centers across the Midwest ensure that our purpose-built microbes arrive on your operation ready to go to work.
Here at the Product Success Center, just outside of St. Louis, Missouri, we're manufacturing all of our on-seed material. After it's manufactured, we send it through rigorous quality checks, all the way from our initial formulation to packaging and even on-seed treatment. This ensures we give the best and highest quality product possible to all of our farmers across America.
Welcome to the Pivot Bio Shipping and Logistics and Fulfillment Center. Every box of Pivot Bio Proven 40 and Pivot Bio Return is packaged and shipped from this facility to each customer's specific orders.
Here at our Omaha facility, we package the components that make up our on-seed products. We then ship those products to our growers and our reps all over the country. During our shipping season, this place will be jam-packed full of people and energy as we ship millions of acres of our products to the field.
From Pivot Bio's location in Ames, Iowa, the customer success team works tirelessly to proactively support reps and customers all season long.
A successful customer experience depends upon the timely delivery of the product to the right location.
It's not just the commercial team, it's billing and invoicing, it's sales within the commercial, shipping within the commercial.
You've got a Swiss Army knife tasked with making sure that the customer has a great experience. Very few organizations at this stage in their life have a full team of people dedicated to ensuring their customer success.
I like it because they're fast on getting back to you, and in the heat of the battle, you're with the grower. You can just count on the timeliness.
It's good to know that CSC will be there to support my business and my growth. I cannot do this without them. They are an extension of my arm, and to make sure that our customers are ultimately satisfied.
When I think about our relationship with Pivot Bio, it's been outstanding, in large part because the CSC has been behind the organization, making sure we have a great customer experience.
Joining me now is Chief Innovation Officer and co-founder Karsten Temme. Karsten, how was your 4th?
Oh, it was great. Had a great time with my family, but excited to see where the summer takes us now.
What are some highlights from Innovator this past year?
Well, innovation is all about trying to recognize where there's new opportunity and connect the dots in new ways. So for us, a few years ago, we recognized that there are a lot of companies within the food system that care about improving their sustainable footprint. And our products are a great way to work in partnership with growers to do just that. So we built the Innovator program to help link farmers and food system companies around a shared mission of reducing the sustainable footprint of agriculture. And that's what the program is all about doing, gathering the data that can be shared with the food system companies, and then having those companies flow new revenues back to the farm.
How has the Innovator program grown over the last couple of years?
The Innovator program has really grown massively in just its first couple years of getting going. We've been able to prevent more than 315,000 metric tons of CO2 equivalents from being emitted, an immense amount of nitrate runoff from happening. And at the end of the day, that's been documented on more than 800,000 acres of farmland. We've been able to work with some very big names to be able to create revenue opportunities for our growers. Companies that you've heard of like Nestle or Beam Suntory. And that's resulted in more than $6 million of new revenue payments to growers.
Tell me how a grower can get involved with the Innovator program.
Well, start by talking to your local rep. You can also talk to our TSMs. They're a great source of additional information.
What are some of the benefits of using Pivot Bio when it comes to stewardship?
Well, one of the things that we really want to make sure we're always focused on is for the long term. What does it mean to be both productive, resilient in the face of unpredictable weather, and more efficient at being able to produce that harvest every year? So I think you should expect us to be able to help lead that conversation forward on what the future of fertilizer looks like, to be able to find the best way to see the most value from using our products, and how that fits with all the other tools in the toolbox to ensure the best, most resilient outcome.
Do you have any final words for growers?
I'll just say thank you. Thank you for being here to engage with us today. For those who are using our products, we thank you immensely. We're here to be a partner, and we're here to have a conversation about how to best navigate all of those unpredictable ups and downs of being able to produce a harvest each year.
Thanks, Karsten. Next up is a short video about the Innovator program and how it's adding a new revenue stream for Pivot Bio customers.
Farming today is more challenging than ever. Yield pressures, increasingly expensive inputs, consumer and stakeholder demands, changing climate. But farmers always find a way, because growing for the world isn't a 9-to-5, it's generations of life's work. For the past 100 years, farmers have relied on synthetic fertilizer to feed the world's growing population. This use of synthetic fertilizer comes with real consequences for soil, water, and the climate. What if you could be rewarded for better nitrogen? Innovator is Pivot Bio's program that unites companies with farmers who are replacing synthetic fertilizer with Pivot Bio's microbes to do just that. The result? A better solution that benefits everyone. Innovator pays farmers every crop cycle for using a nitrogen that's safer, easier, and more reliable. And Innovator's validated nitrogen replacements enable leading-edge businesses to create immediate, permanent change to their company's emissions profile. It's a solution that's all upside. That means no choosing between thriving farms or a vibrant earth. Because when we capture, strengthen, and share the value of using better nitrogen, we create acres of transformation.
The Innovator program has allowed us to capture nitrogen credits for our operation simply by reducing our synthetic nitrogen on our operation.
It's refreshing. Pivot's working hard to bring money back to me.
The Innovator program makes total sense. And so here you have a product that you can replace 40 pounds. And oh, by the way, there are ways that you can be paid for doing that.
We decided that we were going to buy in the rest of the way. So every acre of corn that we have now runs Pivot Bio.
That is soil health, that is financial health, that is having the acres to grow. It's simple, it's quantifiable, And it's money that we are getting back to this operation from a system that is more sustainable.
Having programs like the Innovator from Pivot helps make the decision easier yet. Everything just makes the ROI that much better again.
Anytime we can more efficiently use our nitrogen, that is more efficiently using our dollars. And that goes directly back into our bottom line.
If you're interested in setting up your operation to capture additional value with the Innovator program, contact your local rep or TSM for more information. We're getting to the end of our program, and now for something fun to cap off the 4th of July weekend, the Agricultural States of America. The latest Pivot Bio Originals proudly showcases the amazing diversity of agriculture throughout the United States. Here's a short trailer for the show.
The United States of America can be very different from one state to another, but one thing every state has in common is agriculture. And the farms across America are like the patchwork of a quilt that binds our nation together, and each state is represented in their own unique way.
Hey everyone, I'm Charlie Behrens, and welcome back to the Agricultural States of America, where we explore the agriculture of different states and hopefully give you some more appreciation for all the great things that farmers are producing across America. Now today we're looking at the agriculture in Vermont.
Today we're talking about the Hoosier State, Indiana. Today we are talking about Florida.
I'm talking about North Dakota. Yes, the Dakota that sleeps in the top bunk. We're talking about the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, also known as the Quaker State. Yes, Quakers, like the dude on the side of your oatmeal box. And yes, as you could have guessed, Michigan has an apple festival and an apple queen. No, I am not kidding. They also have a sugar queen, a pickle queen, and a burger festival, which does not have a queen. And frankly, I'm a little disappointed in Michigan. Let's pick up the slack there, okay? All right, that's all the time we have for now. Go to pivotbio.com/agstates to explore more about the agriculture of your favorite states and test your knowledge to win great prizes and a whole lot more.
Be sure to check out the Agricultural States of America on RFD TV and on the Pivot Bio Originals YouTube channel. That's it for our program tonight. Thank you so much for spending time with us this evening. I want to remind you to go to pivotbio.com for more information about our products. Thanks again for joining us, and best of luck this season.